What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. My name is Marcus. For those of you guys that don't know, and I do this here every Tuesday night, where I just really discuss the topic and reselling what's going on, at least for me, as well as discuss what's going on with you guys behind the scenes. And here lately, I've been doing giveaways, gyro pack shipping supplies giveaways. So stay tuned if you guys want to get some free stuff. Give everybody a few minutes to come show up. Hopefully, you guys are all doing well. Hopefully, sales are going well for you guys too. It's a little bit on the, I wouldn't say slow, but kind of a stagnant side today. So hopefully things pick up for me here in a few. What's going on, Hillary? Welcome. Hopefully you are doing well. Mandy, what's going on? Hillary, we're gonna be doing a giveaway if you feel like doing the giveaway with me later on. Probably about 7:30 and about 7:50-ish. So that way we give out some stuff. So how's things going for everybody? I know right now it's definitely the wild wild west of this uncertainty and all the eBay changes, but hey, we gotta just keep at it, right? So I'm gonna be going over a topic, which I mean, you guys have definitely heard me discuss this before on my channel, of what about 80% of people are not doing, and it might even be higher than that on eBay. And I feel like this affects a lot of people's sales in a negative way. Now, it's not necessary for it to make sales, which is why I didn't say 80% of people are not making sales because of this, but 80% of people aren't doing this one thing. So stick around. We'll discuss that. What's going on, Rhiannon? Mandy says today's been kind of mad for sales. I'm ready for the giveaway when you are. Sweet. What's up, Tony? How you doing, bro? Yeah, so we'll be doing that in just a little bit. Big shout out. I want to thank everybody that subbed to my other channel. You guys are awesome. The channel's actually doing pretty decent. Actually, I'm surprised by it. So if you guys are Christians or curious about what Christianity looks like, there's a link in the description for my other channel. You guys can check that out. What's going on, Belle? How you doing? Nita, what's going on? So lately, I've been doing 20 sales a day, or 20 items a day. I've changed from 30 a day, and that basically is because I could, right? I don't have the I have the time, but I don't use the time for sourcing more items, right? I'm using this additional time that I have in my day, in my business, for other things that are not reseller related, to generate other income that's not reseller related. So, um, I could go back and source on Friday at the bins, but honestly, guys, just driving back and forth, putting a lot of wear and tear on my car is just, it's not smart. It's not logical. It can be done, but I should not be doing it. So, what I don't get at the bins, I do still source locally for a little bit of it. But I've just minimized the amount of items that I'm picking up and literally just strictly focusing on items that are going to net me enough money to where 20 sales a day is still paying all the bills, and nothing's being, what's the word that I'm looking for? Nothing's being like neglected or left behind, or like I'm not struggling, or everything's still meeting the metrics and the margins that I want to, with 20 a day. And that's been a game changer mentally, as well as just financially. I'm not spending nowhere near as much money as I was on running my business, which I was never like spending a lot of money, but this year I've spent almost $17,000 on inventory. Whereas last year, the whole year, I spent around 10,000. So luckily, I've been doing a lot of sourcing at the bin, so that does keep the buy cost low. But with me starting to implement local thrifts and then paying a sorcerer from time to time, the buy cost did start to creep up closer to the $2 mark per item, which is at like a dollar. I want to say it's at $1.70 or something like that right now, which is not bad. Uh, it's definitely a lot cheaper than thrift stores, so I'm not mad about that. Nita says she just subscribed today and she loves it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Norma, hey Marcus, I woke up to the fact that it doesn't Makes sense to have more than 4,000 items laying into boxes to sell only 6 or 7. You know, that is a thing. I mean, I have 9,200 items and I only sell about 20, 25 a day. I shipped out 25 items, 24 items, correction, today, out of 9,200 items. So, um, kind of feels like you almost need a bigger store these days to even get a decent amount of sales. And I'm not saying that's a must. I'm not saying that everybody's having that, problem, but I wonder if I only had 4,000 items, how much would I sell? Because I got 4,000 something items listed on Poshmark, and I'm not even selling 10 a day over there. I mean, while I'm thankful for whatever I do get over there, um, it's definitely not the same as being on eBay. And earlier in the year when I was listing 50 a day, I was still only selling about, at the max, I would sell 40 in a day sometimes. But on average, it was between 30 and 35, sometimes 25, sometimes 20. So, like, it's literally all over the place. It doesn't matter how many you list a day. It just depends on what is landing in front of buyers and what buyers are actually looking for. And then you got to factor in on top of that, who's promoting the same type of item that's going to stand out more than you. And so it's just kind of weird right now with promotions because everybody's talking about promotions, promoted listings being like a must. So I feel like a lot of people that weren't promoting are either starting to dabble with it or either increasing their promotions. Like I saw James went up to 21% on promoted listings, but I feel like at a certain point it's like the law of diminishing returns. Right. I promoted 8% on all my newest listings, right? Versus all the older listings were at 10%. And I see no difference at the items that I'm listing at 8% selling versus the items that I have listed at 10%. So I don't see no need for me to go over 10% because at the end of the day, the items are still selling promoted. So it just makes no sense for me to give away an additional 10% of my inventory or my selling costs, especially because I do have a 20% off coupon running right now. DMNC, what's going on, bro? Welcome. Appreciate you coming. So what are some of the things you guys are doing? Are you guys running coupons? Are you running markdown sales? Uh, do you promote what is your promote? Put that in there first of all. Does anybody promote at 10% in the chat? And if you promote over 10%, what do you promote at? Bell says, have you ever had someone like a friend or coworker ask you to sell items for them for a cut of the profit? I have a friend asking me to sell dresses for them at 50-50. Yeah, I have. Uh, my mom, I've sold a couple items for her. My friend, I sold a Yeti mug for him that sold for like 150 bucks. And then I had my brother sell a couple items. I sold a couple items for him. But now I've just told people like I'm not set up for that. I'm not trying to deal with the there's logistics that come into play, right? And somebody when they find out that you sell items on eBay and that you make a living at it, they automatically assume that you list the item and it sells immediately. So they're not in it for the waiting game. They don't know that they could list an item and it takes a year to sell, right? So while they're waiting on that item to sell, it's like, you feel the pressure because every time you see this person or, they contact you, it's about the item selling. And so rather than getting the items on I can't even think of what that's called right now, consignment. Instead of getting the items consigned to me, I would just buy them flat out. Then that way they can take whatever length of time to sell, or if the item gets returned, then what do? You go, hey, you know that item I sold for you, well, it got returned. I need the money back. Like, it's just kind of, for me, it's kind of like leaves a bad taste in your mouth if you got to do something like that. So I just avoid it. And I tell them that eBay is very easy to sell on. You could set up an account in a couple of minutes and get the cracking. So it's up to you if you want to sell them. You can, but I know that's not really what you sell. You sell a lot of books and stuff from what I've seen from your content. So I mean, if you feel like it, go for it. um 50-50 is more than what I've ever done. I've always done like, I don't know, like 60-40 was that's the most I ever got was 40%. I promoted 5% and marked down 50% for items that have been sitting over 6 months. That's drastic. I do 70%, but it's got to be over a year. Well, I was. Now I'm not. Nothing's on the markdown now. Hillary says she's been promoting everything at 2%, though I've been considering upping it to get more Q4 sales moving. Yeah, I think with 2%, you're still gonna get promoted sales. I remember when I was at 1%, uh, and I was still making promoted listing sales. But when I turned it up to 10%, my sales went astronomical. Like the chart was like legit straight Empire State Building size spikes, but it did eventually taper off and just became the new norm. Um, yep, I sell mostly books. I really appreciate this advice. I don't want to seem mean to my friend. At the end of the day, tell your friend that it's a business and it just adds a lot of difficulty and variance to the business that you're not set up for. And if they can't understand that, then probably not the greatest of friends. I've sold a few things for a friend and split 50-50, but I would not even consider it if we weren't good friends. That can get in the way of things. Norma says, well, I'm promoting at 5% on my store, and in order to get quality items, I have to increase my BTR. What's that? BTR to 4 to 6. You mean your buy cost? I don't know what BTR means. Am I missing something here, guys? Please help me. Hey, Red, what's going on? Welcome. So, Norma, I'm promoting at 5% on my store. So yeah, sometimes if what you're saying is your buy cost, sometimes you do have to pay more for good items, right? Um, you're not going to be able to get all great items from the bins, right? Or cheap items from the bins. Like that can't be your only source if you're trying to get high quality items. Uh, at least not for me. I've been going to the bins this whole time. The whole time I've been selling clothing, I've been a bins buyer. But here lately, while I've been focusing on only certain dollar items, I've had to implement other sources to get that many of those items. Um, let's see here. She is my kingdom sister. I love her. I also sell DVDs for a cat rescue, but I give the rescue 100%. Yeah, well, that's all deductible. What's up, Sheila? How you doing? Yeah, buy rate. Okay. Um, you are doing 50-50 and you pay the IRS, not fair. Um, but on those, it's just a small portion of the business. Um, if you're doing 50-50, I'm sure she's not doing like 10,000 sales a year at that rate either. So I know with me, I took all the fees and everything out of my cut and I was doing 60-40. So it's just part of the game. But that's also why I don't do it because if I'm going to be paying some taxes on stuff, I'm not trying to pay taxes on hundreds and hundreds of items. Uh, so but so for the title of the video, 80% of people are not just being consistent. Like a lot of people are not sticking with it. A lot of people are tapping out. A lot of people are not listing daily. While you don't have to list daily to make sales daily, consistent activity is best on your account one way or another, whether that's listing items, ending and selling similar, which is all the rage right now. Editing and revising listings if you don't end and sell similar. Um, tinkering with pricing, doing comp research, just answering and doing customer service. These are all forms of activity. And in your business, you're going to want to show eBay that you're active, right? I had a buyer bought something from me, and I waited 4 days to hear back from this person before I was even able to solve the problem, right? So like people will buy something and then immediately get off the website, and then you're stuck in limbo if you have an issue with the address or anything like that, and you have a 1 day handling time or same day handling time, you might be screwed. And so I just really feel like the biggest most important thing that someone can do if they're trying to get daily activity, daily sales on their store is just to be active, be consistent. if eBay isn't giving you the sales that you want, don't not list for the next 2 days because that's going to continue to give you more of no sales for the next couple of days. I've noticed it over the past couple of weeks where there's been Saturdays that I don't list because really just trying to take Saturday off with the Lord. But I feel that on Monday. Sunday, I'll have a good day. It's like they're trying to draw me back in. Like, we noticed you didn't list Saturday. We'll give you a great sales day on Sunday. But then I list Sunday. They're like, oh, okay, he's listening again. Let's taper him back off on Monday to make up for the good Sunday we gave him. And while that's all theory and just like probably me just being paranoid, I still notice that if I don't list for even one day, it messes my sales up a couple of days later. So um I've been being diligent and being, consistent and never skipped a day ever until a couple of months ago. And I noticed that just me skipping one day makes a vast difference inside my business. So obviously, it's not the best thing for me to do is to take a day off. So I just got to continue doing what I'm doing and listing from the draft bank on that Saturday and letting that be the only form of work that I do. Let's see. What's up, Miss Lachey? How you doing? Welcome to the live stream. I was willing to pay the selling cost and taxes when doing a 50-50 split because I didn't pay for the item. That does make up for it, I guess, for sure. Showgirls on the world. Good point. I do feel like it's too much work for me, but there's this air that I should be appreciative since it's free. See, that's the thing though. Like when doing business with a friend, they don't understand that. I mean, unless they watch like YouTube videos or something like that, they don't really understand how this business works. Just because you get an item for free doesn't mean that someone's doing you favors. And it also doesn't mean that the item is good. I can give you this can of Glade air freshener, right? Just because it's free doesn't mean it's going to sell fast or for good money, right? Nobody knows how much is in there. They might not even like the smell of it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, free items don't make it automatically worthy of your time. And people need to realize that when it comes down to selling stuff. I had somebody come up to me that had I don't know, a family member died and they had a whole bunch of media like vinyl and stuff like that. And I was like, most vinyl is not worth really much, you know. And then if it's not in good condition, it's not going to sell for as much as you think. And just because it's freaking Aretha Franklin or somebody, I'm just throwing a name out there, just doesn't mean that it's going to sell for a lot of money. So when it comes down to other people, really, that's why it's best to not do business with friends. Um, it just leads to resentment or like, negativity. I'm good on all that. What size eBay store are you paying a month? Me, I'm the premium store, so it's like what 50 some bucks a month, 57 bucks. Thanks to Miss Lachey. I was overpaying on it for a while. I was paying like 70 bucks a month. Um, then I paid by the yearly rate. I'm still sourcing mostly lots online and a few thrift shops. My buy cost is good, but my sell price isn't where I want it to be yet. Yeah, I know for me, my sales price ASP is going up, but that's only because I continue to add higher ticket items to my store. While I still have thousands of low dollar items, I just got to kind of let them filter themselves out. What's up, Jay? I searched my store earlier. I have 1,500 men's t-shirts, and the bulk of those t-shirts are $15 t-shirts. So there's going to be a lot of items that sell for under 20 bucks because I have a lot of items listed for under 20 bucks. Oh man, thanks for the glade. That's I sell through, right? Yeah, it may. I don't know. May not though. I'm gonna just put this out there. You can appreciate someone's offer and also say no at the same time. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, I've had to cut back to listing 3 days a week for a while. It hasn't dropped my sales so far. Well, you're lucky because I can skip one day and it definitely affects things. Um, Listening while listing vintage sweatshirts. Hey, one of my favorite things to list. I love listing sweatshirts in general, but especially vintage ones because they're just they just sell well for me. Um, when you hit millionaire status, just send me a little something. Yeah, right. I don't think I'll hit millionaire status for quite some time, man. I'm pretty sure I got about a good 10 years to get there. You never know though. Miss Lachey needs some fancy chocolates. Hey, I tried to buy some a few months back. She was not biting. Um, so yeah, with being consistent, right? Like I said, that kind of looks like a different that looks different for everybody. Um, some people, especially with right now, people are just ending and selling similar, like their items by the hundreds or by the thousands. Hopefully you got a store that's big enough to accommodate that. I know for me, if I was to end and sell similar in my store, I would run through all of my free listings in a month and not have any listings for uh new items. So I'm trying to be mindful of the fact that um people do this because I know it's a trigger, so to speak. Some people are like, no, it doesn't work. Some people are like, it does. Some people say it's a myth. Some people like swear by it. Me, I just can't do it because I have Vendu. My items are linked to the code or through the Vendu. So when I transfer them from eBay to Vendu, I can't delist because if I do, then that breaks the chain of this item number. So if it sells on Vendu or if it sells on Poshmark, Vendu's not going to erase or delist it because the code that it used to cross list is no longer valid. So I can't do that, unfortunately. And then on top of that, Vendu or Poshmark encourages you to delist and relist. So I can't do that either. So that's not an option for me. So I just got to try to pick items that are going to be worthy of it. Um, let's see. Just sold a pair of Levi's for 40 bucks. Let's go. Um, let's see here. Andy So Meta. What's going on, bro? Mr. Shad said, yes, fancy chocolates. I'm glad it helped. Um, off the top of your head, Dixon, what are your average prices? What uh I mean, average prices are like 25 bucks for like most jeans, 25 bucks for most hoodies. Some of them go for more, and then like 20, 15 to 20 bucks for like most t-shirts, 15 to 25 on pants. That's just off the top of my head, but it just depends on what the brand is, what the style is, what the fabric is, what the look is. If it's vintage baggy jeans, they go for a lot more. If it's just standard run of the mill, it probably goes a little bit different. Nope, no dog clothes, but I have been getting a lot of dog videos. Dog videos, dog merchandise, not dog clothing, surprisingly. Um, Biff Buffo says, I tried different promoted listing strategies from time to time, but they never seem to work, so I stop. I usually let them run 2 weeks minimum to see if there's any changes. That's a good strategy. I feel like 2 weeks is about the bare minimum of a sample size that one should try to glean any information from. Doing something for a day or two, it's not going to give you the best options or the best data, in my opinion. But, to each their own. Be sure to hit that thumbs up, get some sales rolling, everyone. I never had any luck with D-list, relist. I did back in the day, but I think it was all placebo. I had like 700 items listed, and I would delist and relist, and then obviously I would sell something. But at that point in time, I was only selling like two or three a day anyway, so I would get my two or three sales regardless. So I don't really know if it did any good or any justice for me, but um, like I said, you guys can do what you want to do. I know eBay will actually tell you to do it. So I think that they think there's some type of merit to it. And I'm not going to say that it doesn't work, but it's just something that I don't do. Biff Boffo had asked me a question about what was that, Biff? Traffic for hmm, I don't exactly remember. Maybe it was the marketing page or promotions. You're gonna have to ask your question again, Biff. Dang, it says I didn't make any promoted listing sales from August 15th to the 30th. That can't be right. Let's see here. Hmm. Okay. Since I'm on this live, Biff, I can't go back to your question. Um, but if you could re-ask it, I'll just share my screen and we can look at it and you can see what you were talking about. Because I think I remember you asking something about, I don't know, on site or something. Man, I don't know. I do not know. Um, Either way it goes. With promoted listings also, with promoted listings, with that being like the push that they're going for right now, I think for me in person, I'm not gonna give away any more money than I have to, right? So until I see that 8% isn't working, which it is, if I have to go back up to 10, I will. If I have to go up higher than that, I mean, obviously I'm gonna do what I have to do, but I don't think that after 10% it's gonna convert any more than like 12 isn't going to do better than 10. And if somebody is having better success than with their promoted listings going up, let me know. I mean, in my opinion, there's just no need to give away more money. Um Last week I got excited because the recommended promote, yeah, I remember today the rates are over 18%. That's crazy. I remember you saying that they went down. That's why you can't, put too much stock in what that stuff says. Have you ever tried going to Plato's or Clothes Mentor to get stale inventory sold? No, I haven't. Uh, just because here at the Plato's, they're looking for stuff that's like on trend, and all my stale inventory is like older than a year, so it's already not what they're looking for. And then some of it's vintage. They're definitely not looking for vintage. You know what I mean? So I just don't even bother with it. And then they only give you like $4 an item, so it's not really worth it. I have about 1,260 items with about 300 page views on average a day. Is that healthy? Uh, I don't know honestly, bro. Um, my store is 9255 and page views. Let's see. Let me share my screen real quick. Because your store being the size that it is can't be compared to my store. So ratios, wouldn't even be the same. All right, let's see. So for this is for the 15th. So let me just do on a day. What's today? The 14th. I'll do yesterday. Okay, so page views on the for a day was 1312, and that was for 9,200 items. I sold 20.2 click through rate and 1.5 sales conversion rate. Uh, 23% organic impressions, 77% promoted listing impressions, and that's it. A mix of 8 to 10 promoted listings. And then I think this is what Biff Boffo was talking about, impressions by placements. So top 20 is 3.7, up 26.4%. The rest of the slots or rest of search slot impressions are 9.4%. And then I'm down in non-search impressions, which I don't even know what that is. The impressions your listing got outside of search, such as impressions from similar items or people who viewed this item also viewed modules on a listing page. So that's probably a waste of eBay's time, honestly, is forcing these items to be shown inside someone else's listings, uh, because it's down 11%. So they're showing items to people that don't want them or are not interested in buying them. So I think that's what Biff Boffo was asking about in the last video. So hopefully that answers your question, Biff. Um So yeah, I would say 300 page views a day is good because I got 9,200 items and I did 1,300, so 1,000 more than you. Yeah, I would say you're doing fine. Uh, had a buyer pull the switch on a return. I reached out to Facebook, eBay for Business. They closed the case in my favor. The buyer filed a dispute. I provided all the evidence, and eBay refunded the buyer. So that's probably what I need to do myself because I got a return where the buyer shipped me back the wrong item, admitted to shipping back the wrong item, and eBay still made me refund their money. They opened an appeal, and I still haven't heard anything back from it. So maybe I need to be messaging eBay for Business and trying to get my money back. Um, because that's definitely not it's definitely not okay. Let's see. Congratulations on getting your money back though. That's great. What is Facebook eBay? It's eBay for Business on Facebook. What's up, Travis? I would say views is nothing. How's your sell through? Yeah. There's a there. Hillary said so. I definitely don't trust recommended promotion suggestions. Several high sell-through rate items I have posted with great views and watchers. eBay is recommending promoting at 12 to 14%. Nope. I think that's just a way for them to hype you up and pull the okey doke on you and make you promote it higher than what you need to. I promote on dynamic capped at 10. If you promote too high, you just go back to grinding again. Same as when you had low value items. Yeah. I'm not promoting more than 10. I'm actually at 8 right now. I agree. I had took two pairs of Nike waffles with boxes. Plato's offered me $8 a pair. Pawn shop gave me 45 for both. Yeah. The pawn shops around here don't take clothes or shoes. It's just not a thing in the state of Missouri. If it is, it's not in any. I've never been to a pawn shop that had clothing or shoes. Uh, I was actually surprised when I seen that the first time. Sorry, man. My neighbors are outside, literally right outside my window talking. Um, just received. Never mind. So yeah, we're getting close. Oh yeah, let's do the first giveaway, Hillary. If you're ready, we can go ahead and go. Pick a number 1 through 100, and we'll give away some shipping supplies of 100 items on GyroPack. If you guys want to buy some shipping supplies with GyroPack, there is a link for 10% off your first. No, that guy doesn't live there anymore, Hillary. He got kicked out. He got kicked out a long time ago. So 1 through 100. What's the number, Hillary? Go ahead, spam the chat, guys. Alrighty. I don't see it yet. Welcome, Esther. Vintage Bonnie. Welcome. 31. I just turned 31, and yesterday was my birthday. Oh, you're 31? No way, dude. I thought you were like 19. We got a winner, Hillary says. And it is Tony. Hey, Tony, my guy. Congratulations, man. So what I'm gonna need you to do, Tony, is get on gyropack.com. Um, pick your desired order. Send me a screenshot and then your address. Make sure you include the whole address, zip code, and everything. Um, and then I'll send that to Gyropack and they'll ship you out your order within a day or so. Usually they do it like the next day or two. So you should get it around this time next week. So congratulations, my guy. 100 pieces. It can't be over 100 pieces. And then we'll do one more of those. Bill says, I wish I could go back in time 10 years. Yeah. I have people all the time that tell me that I look like I'm in my late 20s, and I'm like, no, bro. Like not at all, not even close. Tony says, yeah, I never win anything. You're a winner in my book, bro. The number was 75. Uh, so yep, there we go. Winning number was 75. Congratulations. Um, we'll do another one in about 15 minutes. So be ready, guys. Um, so yeah, just send that to me on Instagram. Do you follow me on Instagram, Tony? I think you do. Pretty sure you do. Supercidal, or says congrats. Um, so yeah, guys, here moving forward for me, I'm gonna just continue to do the 20 a day. I'm definitely open to sourcing different ways. I just signed up for Depop last week. I haven't bought anything on there, but I've been searching for items to snipe offline. The only thing that stops me from buying a bunch is the shipping price. So that kind of sucks. Makes the shipping much higher. So definitely not worth it. 75 C deals. You were late, C deals, so you would have won, but my name is not Bo. My name is Marcus. Uh Bo, would you recommend getting a storage unit right away? What would be a good size storage unit to start with? So, as I said, my name is Marcus. Bo's the other guy. Um, but I started out with a storage unit, so I'm not going to say that everybody should. And the only reason why I started out with a storage unit is because my girlfriend and I both lived in a one-bedroom apartment, and she already had the storage unit. So, um, I just took over the storage unit and start putting stuff in there. I wouldn't recommend that you start out with one. First, I would think that the best thing that you could do is use whatever extra space you have in your place and find it depends on what you're storing, but find an inventory system that allows you to store the most items in the smallest space. And so for me, that looks like storing items on a shelf in boxes with poly bags because it's just very dense, very packed. I can go high, I don't have to go wide. I don't have to stack and unstack totes, so that just allows me to maximize the space that I have. But if you grow out of that and it starts to override your house and you just are like not cool with it, then yeah, I would implement getting the most space that you can afford without being uncomfortable for business expenses, because you always want to have room to grow. So, like if you start out with a 5 by 5, you're better off just finding a 5 by 5 corner in your room, your apartment, your house, or whatever to use. So I would definitely not get anything less than a 10 by 10. Uh, Preferably like a 10 by 20 is great, but it also depends on where you live at. I live in Missouri, in the country, and my storage units when I had them, I had five of them at one time. They were all $70 a piece, and they were like 10 by 15, so that was affordable for me. The space I'm in now is $500 a month, and it's like 1,200 square feet, and I'll never run out of space there unless I go back to listing 50 a day, which I don't see that happening. Um, I thought 3% was crazy. What, 3% promoted? Living on the edge, Jocasta. You're my son's age. Everyone looks like a kid to me. That's how I am with certain people. I'm like this kid over here, and they're like 25, and I'm like, yeah. My conversion rate is 1.1 to 1.2. I feel like it should be a little higher. I feel like it should be too, but at the end of the day, as long as you're still seeing traction, 1.4 is low for me. There was a point earlier in the year where I was seeing my conversion rate was up to like 2.3, 2.4. But that's the biggest reason why is because I was accepting almost every offer. So therefore, the items were being seen, an offer was being sent, and I was accepting, therefore completing the conversion, right? But now I'm still getting just as many items are seen, but all the offers that are coming through are 50% off offers, and I've stopped accepting 50% off offers. So now that means my conversion rate has gone way, way down because all the sales that I was accepting before, I'm now declining. And so the algorithm gets used to you doing a certain thing. And so if you've been accepting almost all offers, even 50% off offers for over a year, they're going to funnel you a bunch of people that send 50% off offers because they know, hey, Marcus accepts these. This person always sends them. Let's send them to him because usually that equates to a deal. It's not equating to a deal anymore. So now my conversion rate is tanking. Uh, Shipped is tax deductible. Don't let it hold you back. Shipped is. I'm not sure. Not sure what we're talking about there. Maybe I missed something. Shipping. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Shipping comes right off the eBay page. eBay is so mysterious. Placebo is always in effect, bro. That's so right. I was wondering probably about top 20 impressions. Sorry, I'm lagging. No, no problem. I did get to it though. Did you see it? Um, if I don't know how far you're lagging behind, but I did get to that. But if not, let me just go over it again real quick. I think it's still on the screen. Yeah. So top 20 is 3.7% out of 20,410, up 26.4. I don't remember what you said yours was, but I don't even know if this is good or not, honestly. So that's where mine is. I'll leave it up on the screen just a little bit longer so you can see it. Um, but all my stuff's down, everything except for the click through rate. This has stayed at point 0.2 the whole time I've been on eBay. So there you go, my friend. Um, Jay says, I had another local reseller recommend using themed backgrounds for some items to catch attention. I got a pair of Tom's winter boots and see a snow background on photo room. Go for it. I mean, why not, right? The days of needing a white background to sell items are done for. So you can do exactly whatever you want to nowadays, man. I'm sure. How quick do you take down your sold listings in Vendu? Do you worry about getting duplicate orders in more than one platform? No, Vendu delists the items for me. So if it sells on eBay, it'll take it down off Poshmark for me. And it does that immediately. So I don't have to do anything. The only thing you do need to be mindful of is if there's an offer out on the item on Poshmark or eBay, Vendu cannot remove that item. So if it sells on an offer, you might need to double check on Vendu or check on Poshmark too. So there is an option on Vendu, and I'll just go through it real quick with you guys so you can see it in real action. Because I might need to take some items down. So if I go to Vendu, what I do is I go up here to my inventory, and there's an option to search, right? Advanced filters. You go down to sold but still listed, and these are going to be the options. These are going to be the items that have offers out on them, um, that have been sold but not removed. And so maybe these are. oh, So these are the items right here. Um, let's see here. It says it's still active on Poshmark. So what I got to do is go to Poshmark and then delete the item. And so in order to do that, I got to change the size. And it kind of sucks that you got to do all this, but then you update the item and you list it. And then once you've listed it, you can go back in and edit it and delete the listing. And so you just go back to Vendu and you refresh the screen, and that one should go away. Now I got to do the filter again, but you get the gist of it. So it's still there. So yeah, it's actually been deleted now, but Vendu's trying to catch up to it. Now I'll just do that for all of them. Just go in there and try and delete the item. So you could try to delete it. Okay, so I guess it didn't have offers out on it. Sweet. And just do that for all of them. But normally, so maybe what's going on here is my switch has gotten toggled off. So you also want to make sure that is on too. So when you go to, let's see, marketplace connections. Okay, so this right here is the sales detection switch. You want to make sure that's on because when I first started selling on Poshmark or when I first started using Vendu, I never turned this switch on and my items weren't getting removed. Um, so yeah, I'll just finish delisting all those items later. But nothing's perfect. Even with another cross listing platform, I've been noticing that people are posting that some of their items aren't delisting. And the common denominator is that there's been offers out on those items. Let's see. Keeping your cost as low as possible for as long as possible is a smart move. Absolutely. So, yeah, when it comes down to getting a storage unit, if you don't need one, don't get one. I've seen that work well on other platforms like Etsy. I wonder if it works well on eBay also. Um, Hey man, thanks again. I'm the guy with the 10K store. I get paranoid listing 200 new tag items every week. Should I worry? Can I do 300? Well, I wouldn't go with 300, but you have asked me this 3 weeks in a row. I would continue to do 200 for the time being since it does worry you. You don't want to push the system. If you're feeling that you can continue to list 200 new tags items a week, and is this all you're doing? Because if this is all you're doing, I would just ride it out for a couple more weeks and build up some track history, build up some reputation with yourself that this is what you do. You're able to fulfill all the orders. You're not like flooding out a certain brand. And then if you continue to have no issues over the next month or so, then bump it up to 300 and then do that for a little bit and then increase it from there. You don't want to take large jumps with newer tags items, even if they're coming from like pallets and things like that, because uh, or liquidation things like that, because sometimes those brands can be they can be frowning on you for flooding the market with stuff that they didn't sell. I know it would seem weird because you get in a liquidation, so why would they be tripping? But it's the same thing as like Patagonia and Levi's buying back their items because they don't want nobody flooding the market, taking up all their share. Love your channel, thanks, appreciate you. Um, Marcus, I want thanks for pointing out if you cross list items on different platforms, you can lower you promoted listings on eBay. I want thanks for pointing out if you cross list items on a different platform. I mean, I wouldn't lower my promoted listings just because I cross list on a lower plat. Just because I cross list on another platform, I'm not going to lower my promoted listings on eBay. I don't know if that's something I would thank you for, but if that gives someone value, then thank you. Um, I don't know. Does anybody else do that? Promote at a lower rate because they cross list on another platform? I could see there being some logic to that. Um, but me personally, I think eBay's spiteful. I think if you cut your promoter rate too much, they'll cut your water off. They'll be like, all right, you'll still pay us, but we won't show your items to anybody. Um, and then they give you the old 1-2. But if someone does get value from that and that helps you, you can give C Deals a shout out and tell them thank you for the suggestion. There will be another giveaway coming up soon, so be sure to hang around. Yeah. So matter of fact, we'll just go ahead and do the giveaway now. It's 7:49. I was gonna do it at 7:50. 1 to 100. So go ahead and start flooding the comments, guys. This is interesting. I'm not sure. So I'm 6 minutes behind. With Vendu, do you use the add-on option in order to delist? Yeah, it's the add-on option comes with the unlimited plan. Um, $70 is the unlimited plan, and the delist tool comes with it. Alrighty. That did answer my questions. Promoter listening just beefs up non-search impressions, makes me think it's fraudulent. It's definitely not like benefiting anybody in a real major way except for eBay. Now, while I do have over $100,000 of sales due to promoted listings this year, I'm not sure that me paying more than I was makes much of a difference. Jay's Endeavors, you won. Congratulations, bro. Message me on Instagram with your full name. It doesn't have to be your real full name. It just give me your name. It has to be a first and last name, and then your address and a screenshot from gyropack.com of a 100-piece order. It can be under 100 pieces, but it can't be over 100 pieces. Have you ever thought about cross listing the Facebook Marketplace? So I started out on Facebook Marketplace and I have not cross listed to there simply because the platform jumped off a cliff whenever I started. Whenever I had to send them in my um, information for my taxes, they cut off my shipping privileges. And then once they gave me back my shipping privileges, the platform just wasn't the same. It wasn't performing the same for me. So I just started focusing only on eBay at that time. Have you ever bought inventory off? Have you ever bought inventory online? If so, what's your experience? Any site recommendations? So I have not bought inventory online yet. I've only done looking. I've only looked. Um, and the shipping price always throws me off from actually pulling the trigger. So I can't recommend anything right now, but I have been looking on just eBay, Poshmark, things like that. I'm very curious to find a website that is worth buying online. That's not liquidation. I don't want to buy liquidation because that means everyone has it. So um, I haven't done a lot of it yet, or I haven't done any of it yet. Venmo list your items at the same price into eBay and Pod. No, Vendu, not Venmo. Venmo's a pay app, like a peer-to-peer paying app. Um, it means you are getting less profit in Poshmark. Vin Vendu list your items at the same price. No, I changed the price. I change all my prices on Poshmark. If eBay ever audits you, then you have to ship with no pay until they finish their audit. Really? Whew. Be sure to never get audited. It's another great way to source. I started finding lower price bundles and lots on Mercari that had great items and had success. So yeah, I know a lot of people that actually do great with sourcing online. Uh, so I definitely recommend giving it a try if you can find items that either you can buy lots, you can get on Whatnot and buy lots from the same person. That way you get a cheaper shipping price, or you can buy bundles on Mercari or Poshmark or something like that to get one shipping rate, or you could find a buyer on eBay that has a bunch of the same type of items that you're looking for and then get them to combine shipping. But without that, without combined shipping or a bundle shipping price, the shipping eats up all the profit. I've had people reach out to me on Instagram and like Facebook and things like that, or not Facebook, Instagram and videos and YouTube trying to sell me inventory, but then they want to whack me over the head with shipping prices, and that eats up all the profit margin and it makes it not worth it. I only promote 25% of my store. That's a thing I've been hearing a lot of people say lately. They promote certain types of items inside their store. And so I could see that being profitable. I could see that being something that does move the needle because some items don't need to be promoted. Some items need to be promoted. And Taylor Loft Blouse probably needs to be promoted. Vintage Grateful Dead band tees don't need to be promoted. Would have never guessed Macari. Time to research. Thank you. Let's see. So once again, congratulations to Jay on the dub. Um, Rich says you may have answered this already, but why Poshmark and not Macari or other platforms? Because Poshmark is the only one that delist right now. Um, Vendu doesn't automatically delist on any other platform yet, so Vendu is what I use. There are cross listing services that delist on other platforms. I don't use that one, so I don't have that option. Have you thought about cross-listing vintage pieces on Etsy? Etsy doesn't have auto delist, so I don't list on Etsy. Facebook Marketplace was a hot mess for me. Low ballers and scammers. That's everywhere though. So, kind of just gotta deal with that right now. Just source and demand items, high sell through rate, no need for high promotions rate. That's very true. American Thrift Supply shipping is free after $100. Huh? Never heard of that store. Yeah, lots of scammers on Facebook. That's a good C deals. That's a good is American Thrift like nationwide? Um I still get vintage lots from Macari. I just purchased a bundle with vintage Simpsons and Spuds McKenzie tees. Hey, nice. If you list a lot of the same things in large quantity, then they will clock your account and demand proof of purchase. Yeah, I know about that, and that's why I was telling the buddy that was asking about 200 newer tags items earlier to not go too crazy with listing brand new tags items in abundance, because you want to be able to show proof of uh where you're getting the items from and things like that. Now, I know that they're doing that with new sellers that just start accounts. What's it called? I don't know. C something 0001 something. They're hitting you with they're freezing, not necessarily freezing your account, but they are coming after you to find out where you're getting your stuff from and show invoices and receipts and things like that, because it happened to a guy on our Patreon. He started a eBay store. He built up all drafts, like 1,000 drafts, and then launched them all at one time. And started, obviously he was making tons of sales, like 30 a day. They came after him. I was like, bro, I knew they were going to do that, but he's rocking and rolling still. They unfroze his account. Everything went well. They held me up for 1 month, zero pay on eBay years ago. Hmm. How much your inventory would you say is sourced via Macari? Macari is a giant yard sale. eBay is a giant yard sale. Hey, Marcus, GB, GB. I don't know what that means. Goodbye, maybe? I sold on Etsy until a year ago. Must be all handmade, not used. Not really. I sold merch on Etsy when I first got into doing YouTube and I started my Instagram. There was a link in there for merch for the longest, but I shut that down. Macari needs to do a better job on GB is Great Britain. Hold up. So you're in Great Britain? Well, let me see. What's the last thing you said? That's Claire. That's you, Claire. That's Claire. That's got to be Claire. Um, Claire's from the UK. She's in our Patreon. That makes sense. Go to bed, Claire. What are you doing up? Uh, should know it's my it was my British flag, but the emoji screwed up. It's Claire. Why they be hating on you, Claire? Why can't they just show your flag? Um, should I be worried about eBay asking for invoices if I start out a brand new account listing 30 a day? No, I think you'll be fine. Because you're not going to start out selling 30 a day. Now, this guy on our Patreon started out with 1,000 listings and he was selling like 30 a day. And so that is fast. If you make like I think the metrics are like if you make like $5,000 or something, or maybe it's $12,000 or something within the first such amount of time. And I'll have to do research on this after the live stream, because I don't exactly remember. But if you make too much money too fast, yes, it's a problem, because they need to verify that everything's legit on your end and that you're getting all your items shipped out and packed and delivered on time. So they'll throttle your traffic until you can prove that you're worthy of the traffic. I've been on Etsy since 2015, handmade and vintage all day long. Now I manage my ex's Etsy store. You're not with your ex anymore, Sheila. Why are you managing his store? I would have him do it. Claire's getting yelled at like a kid. So past bad time. No, Claire's my friend. She's my favorite in the Patreon. Just giving her a hard time because it's like midnight there. Maybe it's even later than that. Maybe it's like I think it's 2 o'clock in the morning in Great Britain, and she's got to be up at be on the call in the morning. Um, let's see. I'll say out of everything listed and unlisted, 18% is from Macari. That's still a great ratio of sourcing from Macari. I actually just relaunched my Etsy as a bookseller. I think it's important to have lots of platform as long as you can stay organized. But I also did it because I love Etsy, the website I can just window shop. There you go. What do you sell on Etsy? Do you have any other future plans other than reselling on eBay? Absolutely. Ultimately, my plan is to be working for the kingdom of God. Go out, speak in prisons, speak in facilities, and tell people what Jesus has done in my life and try to get the whole world saved. That's my plan. We're still friends and he pays me. Okay, do your thing, girl. I think that might make it difficult when you find a new man. Then what are you gonna do? What's the gyro or gyro site? Hang on. It's gyro pack. JIAR. I'll share the link real quick. Copy link. Here you go. Sorry, it's such a long one. Claire says I was working until 1:30 a.m. in the garage. I think I have some kind of jet lag. I'm in US time now. Yeah. Uh so that was about a half an hour ago then. I feel so bad for you. I understand if you're not on the call on the call in the morning. Um have you faced any burnout from your reselling career? If so, how did you reset? I kind of did face burnout, which is, it's very realistic, especially because I was doing 90 a day, 7 days a week, right? So I was taking 2 days off a week, but I got in grind mode because I had a vacation coming up, followed by a week-long mission trip. And in order for me to get enough listings built up, I had to like work 2 months straight with no time off, and that kind of really got to me. Lack of time, lack of properly being able to focus on all of my tasks. I was spread thin between all of the things that I do in life, not just eBay. Like, I know you guys probably think, like I'm just, listing on eBay and, have a lot of free time and stuff like that. But my whole day is regimented. It's scheduled out literally to where I don't even have 5 minutes to get on a phone call with somebody. If like you need 5 minutes on the phone with me, you're interrupting some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like as soon as this call's over with, I got stuff that I got to do. Even though I've dropped down to 20 listings a day, I still implement my time. 100% of my time is used in a day because uh, we all have 24 hours in a day. And if I'm trying to make something happen, I got to budget my time out as wise as possible to get the most out of my day and still get 7 to 8 hours of sleep at night. So um, I did face burnout. And what I did was I just started focusing on items that sold for more money and just worked less, right? So I could still be doing 50 a day, listing, taking 90 sets of photos every single day. But instead, I decided to go down to 20 items a day. Now I only have to take photos of, 40 to 60 items a day. And that's, if I take 60 sets of photos, that's 3 days of work. If I do that 3 days a week, I'm covered for the whole week, right? And then I have plenty of time to do other stuff. So, um, it's definitely real. Burnout is real. So I encourage you to make sure you have enough drafts in your draft bank to take a day off. It's vital. I mistyped Marcus's link. I typed it in. I sent the URL anyway, as long as it is. Vintage bottoms, purple glass. Well, cross that bridge. Other relationships when we get there. I don't have time or patience for dating. I know that's right. I feel you there, buddy. Well, guys, it's been real. It's 8:04. I do have to get off here. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Hopefully, you guys make good sales. For those of you that won, make sure you message me on Instagram. I did see Tony's message come through. But yeah, guys, if you're interested in my Christian channel, there is a link down below if you guys want to know what it looks like to serve Jesus. If not, catch you guys back here later on in the week for another video. That's going to do it for this one. Catch you guys on the next one. Till then, let's make this cash, guys.